Hey guys, I've been standing in line for the past 4.5 hours. Anyways, in this video, let's talk about Mary's Poppins. Let's go. So Mary's Poppins is a bar in Adelaide serving the LGBTQIA, and I've created for them a Webflow site, or they hired me for a Webflow site. And in this video, I just want to go ahead and walk you through the Webflow site as you're seeing right now on your screen, as well as breaking down any technical challenges or any experiences or learning opportunities, etc. that I have come up with to share with you guys on the YouTube. So here is the homepage. This specific client right here, I actually worked with them in the past by creating their other website, ITD Events. So feel free to check out my YouTube video on that. Okay, so before I go over the entire website, let's quickly jump to their old website, and I'm using Wayback Machine right here. And obviously Wayback Machine doesn't capture it 100%, but this is what it looked like before. So obviously some effort was done here, and it also obviously has some sort of like design element. You know, the thing that stood out to me the most was the use of these like wacky colors, or a lot of colors, to make it look very bright. And obviously, you know, this header one title or whatever is like in a marquee text format. So this is pretty unique in itself. You'll notice the nav bar is popping out: news, venue, gallery, divas, fame, FAQ, and jobs. So I try to keep all of that, but you can see it shows all the CMS items. So these are Webflow CMS items for events, and that was essentially it. So the guy reached out and essentially said, I'm sure you can do something better. So let's go ahead and see that something better. And let me explain why it's better. That's probably better, right? Wow. Okay, so here it is, guys. Here is the updated homepage. You can see in the background, we have, you know, an image that clearly shows what they do. I think ever since the client has updated themselves, originally, I believe I've created for them a background video which showcases their actual physical location. So again, like I mentioned, this is a physical bar in Adelaide. So you can actually go in Adelaide, Australia, and see this location. So think about like a McDonald's. It's like a physical McDonald's restaurant they can go in. So I originally had a background video of that restaurant, but they just updated the image, you know, they had the client. And you'll notice that it shows much more of what they do. So this previously didn't actually say New Year's Eve is on sale now. You know, the client is very proactive, so they updated that based on relevancy. Because right now, at the time of recording, it's, you know, almost New Year's. So guys, I actually loaded the original Webflow site, so I restored the old version. And you'll notice this is what it looked previously. Again, we had a background video showcasing the location. So you can clearly see what it is. And then you can also see the title: South Australia's ultimate LGBTQIA+ party destination. So it clearly shows what that is. And you notice I even put some sort of different design element where I used a more thinner font right here and separated with a rainbow. And going back to the original current website, you'll notice it has the address on the top as well as the opening time. So it's open Friday and Saturday from 9 p.m. till late. So these are the key information that people will want to know when they visit a bar. Where is the bar? If it's not somewhere applicable, I don't even care. I want to click outside the website. Secondarily, what time is it open? Usually this time right here is almost always hidden either in the footer or on the contact page. So it's important to put that straight away. You notice at the very top, there is also a CTA button that says New Year's Eve tickets. So the client is very proactive with updating the site for relevancy. But you also notice in the nav bar right here, it is now a glass blur effect, which I thought was interesting and pretty cool. And then I've also done a tutorial on this in the past, just to let you know. And you can see that it has these specific links. So home, FAQ, venues, divas, info. So info is a drop down with private hire page, a jobs page, a contact us page, a news page of CMS, galleries right here, which takes you to external URL links where you can retrieve photos that were taken during an event, for example. You'll notice the main CTA is not necessarily contact us, right? If you think about McDonald's, like the main CTA isn't like, you know, fill in this contact form. No, the main CTA of McDonald's is like, come into our restaurant, mate, you know, and buy food, right? Same thing here. Come into our venue, or more importantly, you're going to come into our venue because of our specific event that we're going to host. So that's why it says, see what's poppin'. So this is almost like brand identity, rather than saying something like, see our events, you know, doing some further research by saying, see what's poppin', you know, like that's literally like the same thing as saying, see our events. And again, this is exact same CTA on the top right, which is upcoming events. So as we scroll down, you'll notice it separates the hero with the next section with a pink line right here, looking at it right now. Perhaps this could have been an animated gradient, but whatever. And this specific Webflow site is built using a template, believe it or not, guys. But I've said this many times in the past, I don't just buy a template and then just slap it, you know what I mean? Like I don't just buy a template and then, you know, change the color, change the content, like that's it. More research needs to be done. Like for example, the copy needs to be thought out, the layout needs to be thought out. And usually with templates, sometimes, most of the times, the content doesn't fit the template. So you have to custom make certain elements. I say this all the time, at least in my head. So right here, we have the events, and this is linked to the CMS. And again, how do we do this? In the previous site, you'll notice it just took all the page and just endless scroll. Instead, this is using a horizontal swiper.js, which I will make a tutorial in the future, hopefully. And this is sorting from newest to oldest, which makes the most sense because you want to show the newest to the oldest, or sorry, the oldest to the newest. So the most recent one coming up to the least recent, you know, because that's how it should be sorted. And then you'll notice it has that CTA again to view the events. And as we scroll down, the client made this. So again, he knows Webflow pretty well. We have FAQs. So these are customers' pain point questions. Like these are the type of things that I think if you're a Webflow designer or developer, and I think that there's two different things. One is knowing design and one is knowing development, but another one is strategy, like UX. This is UX strategy, I would consider. I know some people in the actual UX industry will laugh at me, but at the end of the day, you also got to think about the client's budget. You know, they didn't pay me like $2 million to conduct user research and like go to South Australia and start interviewing people on the streets. Like, it's just that if I was putting myself as the owner of this company and the main goal is to get people inside my company, wouldn't it make sense to put FAQs? Because if someone was to go to like a bar, right? Say you're 18 and that lifestyle is appealing for some reason, you wanna know, you know, what is the entry requirements? Well, you have to be, you know, 18 to go to a bar, for example, in Australia, you know, and you have to show ID. What is acceptable ID, you know? And then all these other things, you know, accessibilities, opening times, you know, how to get there, and there's no, you know, tolerance policy. So I thought this was a must section, and you'll notice this is only the top FAQ items right here, which is built through a CMS, and the client can toggle which one he wants to feature. There's also a page that goes into all the FAQ. So the next section is the about section. And originally these specific photos, I actually had a GIF image of clients. You know what, I'll just show it. So right here, originally it was like this, where it's kind of showing like actual people. So, you know, I always love to show people's faces because it's like, oh wow, I'm a human being. They're also a human being. We can relate, you know? But obviously he changed it for whatever reason, you know, he's the owner, he knows best. So instead, you know, at least it shows something. Again, these are not stock photos. These are literally images of the actual venue. So this is always good to do. Don't put stock photos. Why? You know what I mean? Especially if you have a physical location. Why don't you just use your iPhone camera and just take some photos, you know? Very simple stuff. Scrolling down, we have even more photos because show, not tell, you know? This again, this is not an overcomplicated website. We don't need to put 10 million sections. Most of the stuff is really just showing, not telling, and then just getting people to come into the door. That's literally it. Then here is the divas. So these are just like, for example, if it's a comedy show bar, these are like the comedians in that analogy. And then scrolling down, we have one of the CTAs with a supporting video on the right-hand side, which is the exact same background video hero section. And then a subscribe now that adds them to the email campaign, and then a massive email list, which you can do a lot with. Then scrolling down, you'll notice there is a Elf site paid plugin to show Instagram feed. So obviously, I'm assuming this person has a marketing company or someone does his marketing because, you know, it requires effort. Like, look at that design, you know what I mean? Like that takes time. So this is great. Show that it's relevant. You can see that he's even verified in the platform, and he has a lot of followers in this under the sun world. You know, it's true because 21.9 thousand followers in Adelaide, in Sydney, sorry, not Sydney, I'm from Sydney, in Australia is quite a lot, because from my understanding, Adelaide isn't a very popular city. So assuming these 20K followers are from Adelaide, that's very, very niche. So at the bottom, you'll notice I just put a simple footer, logo, a bit about them, the fact that they're verified 200 plus reviews on Google, and then helpful links right here. It's important that I put an arrow if it's an external URL link, upcoming events, which pulls from the CMS, and then contact us on the bottom right. So I'll quickly fly through all the pages, but hopefully you guys get some idea of like why I did things. We'll start off with the FAQ. Again, this just shows more FAQs, and this is still in the CMS, and it's saying stuff like, if you still have questions, please contact us. These are just small minor things you can do for user experience, almost like when a user fills in a contact form and you hit submit form, it shows the success state. This is like, these small things make a difference that people will sometimes overlook. So that's the FAQs. Then we have the venues page. This is almost like the about page, and it's saying, we are the jewel of community in South Australia. Then it's showing some really nice images in interesting layout, right? Like this is now a circle layout. And then scrolling down, it's like, why come to our venue? You'll notice this was part of the template, but this is pretty cool animation. As I scroll, this circle comes out, and then it goes into the points, like 9 years and then 50 years, etc. And then scrolling down, repeated section. And then here is a gallery section originally with a slider. And then below this is FAQs and then repeated sections. Then we just have divas, which is like the people, that performers, built through the CMS. So you can actually click into one of them, and then this will go into more detail about them. So the client can go in and effectively write a rich text element about this specific performer. And then scrolling down, you notice it shows more of the performers in this Swapper.js, of course, excluding the current CMS item. The next page is info, private hire. So just in case you want to hire the venue, the client can easily just send this link, maryspoppin.com/hire. And then instead of sending them like a deck or something, a deck is like a formal report saying XYZ in a high level overview, you can just send them a website link. How much time does that save? You know what I mean? So, and this is more interactive and easier to read, etc. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go into business strategy. But here you can see it's showing or selling the venue. Like, if you want to rent it out, it fits 650 people, for example. And then it has, state-of-the-art sound and lighting equipment, and it's located right here with a full alcohol license, for example. So that's that, and it goes into the 2 rooms, and then it has FAQs specifically for this specific venue hire for different audience, like a B2B business. And then the next one is contact us, jobs right here. So pretty straightforward. If you want to work for the bar, you can hire by sending them an email with your resume. Then we have contact us, and you'll notice contact us is deliberately, with a capital D, hidden from the website. So you got to know your audience. Like I said again, if this was McDonald's, a physical restaurant, why would McDonald's want a contact form on their website? They'll just get 10 million questions, you know what I mean? So this is hidden on purpose in a dropdown because no one really sends an email request, form request, talking to the venue. You'd rather just go in and talk to the person or give them a call, etc. So this was done deliberately, but you can contact them if you want via a contact form. Then we have the news page right here, which is just articles. And then the client can easily update this to the CMS. We just have an image with a rich text. That's it. Then we have galleries, which takes you to external URLs. But more importantly, we have that upcoming events page. You'll notice this is the events page where it shows all the events from most coming up to the least coming up. That makes sense. And if we just click into one of them, let's say this one here, you can see it shows the cover photo on the left in a sticky format. And as you scroll on the right-hand side, it shows you the information about this. And the client can easily apply different stylings, which I've done through the CSS class of the rich text element. And then below that is what else is popping, again, in this horizontal swipeable. And let's quickly look at mobile, because we are a Webflow developer channel, right, guys? You guys are Webflow developers, right? If not, I don't know. Anyways, so here it is. Let's go ahead and just move into iPhone SE. And then this is it, guys. So we have the background video, everything just stacks. You notice the glass bar effect is still there. We still have the main CTA of booking a ticket for a specific event. It's always showing. If we open up the nav bar, it works. I remember there was a challenge here where I forgot to put the open menu to be min width 100 VH, meaning with a scroll of auto so they can scroll down. Because if we open a drop down, you notice there might not be enough screen height for the user to scroll down. So I forgot to change that to auto, which I now have. So that's something I forgot to do. But it all works right here. You can see if you scroll down, this makes a lot of sense. This horizontal swipeable thing now makes sense on mobile. Looking at this now, I probably could have just, I have like a container here where it has, for example, 20 pixels on the left and the right. Perhaps I could have just got rid of that to make a full width, you know what I mean? But it's such a small detail. But here it is. And then scrolling down, everything just stacks. All the FAQs still work. And you'll notice it's a very simple website. It's nothing crazy. And these horizontal images still work. All of these swipeable still work. So it's very, very versatile on mobile. Let's quickly just take a look at one more page. Maybe the contact us page right here. You can still contact them. And yeah, so that is the website that I created for Mary's Poppins. To be honest, I was a bit hesitant to make this video because I'm not sure if you guys enjoy this type of content, you know what I mean? So please let me know in the comments what you think about this type of content. I've done many of these Webflow breakdowns in the past on my channel, so check out the playlist right here. Please give this video a like, it really helps me out. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.